want to make a disclaimer here. Like, if you're having some of the things that we're talking about, I would definitely say seek medical advice, but I would say do so with discernment, because I don't want to be that person that's like, seek psychiatry and get put on all these medications and like numb out this process for yourself, because part of this journey is to feel, to heal, right? So we need to have our emotional messengers online. They're sending us wisdom and data constantly about what we're experiencing. But I also recognize that there is lots of psychopathology in our world, and it needs to be treated with medication and these sorts of things. For me, when I went down this path, I sought out holistic psychiatry. So getting put on like nutraceuticals as opposed to pharmaceuticals as like a first stop. Like, is this something? Can I calm my mind? Can I calm the experience of anxiety or create less of an environment of depressiveness in my system with doing nutraceuticals or doing somatic therapy or these sorts of things? So I would say listen and tune into your intuition, right? If you've had something like this and you've been experiencing this for a long time, frequency's high, intensity's high, duration is high, I would say yes, definitely go and seek medical advice. But I would say there's also a place in this sphere for shamanistic healing, right? Going to medicine people that have done this work, indigenous people that have done this work. So, listen to your intuition. I've played in all these arenas and I know they've all had a part in my process. So I would never look at something and say that there's no value there. Right. I live by the motto, take what's good and leave the rest. And don't be opposed to going into a new arena and exploring if there's something in there that can support you through this. Because I think a lot of us, we look at life through the lens of like science. And if there's no scientific data to show that this isn't effective, then it doesn't work. I do believe that to a certain degree. Like, I'm very evidence-based in a lot of the things that I do, but there's also an aspect of me that I don't need evidence. The evidence is my intuition. I feel it. I believe we live on a planet that is operating in a universe that is infinite. I couldn't even sit here and explain there's billions and trillions of planets and galaxies with billions of planets in them. There's even research coming out that could be possibly black holes in certain galaxies that open up to a whole other universe, right? So we can't say that on this one measly planet in this massive universe that we know, right, which would be the body of science, that we know everything. So I believe there's always room for us to be curious, and to not be like, we know it all as a human race. I think there's so much more to be explored. So I always leave kind of a crevice open for like the unknown to exist in my experience, which allows me to move towards and be open to new experiences, new people, new ways of healing, right? These sorts of things. So I would encourage the listeners to keep that crevice open.